Hello everyone, my name is Tyler Fitz. On behalf of the Washington County 4-H Awards and Recognition Committee, I would like to welcome you to our 4-H Awards Recognition Ceremony.
Now join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now join me in the 4-H pledge. I pledge my head to clearer thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health for better living, for my club, my community, my country, and my world. Before we begin the award and recognition ceremony, we would like to give honor to Inez Griffles. Megan Casper will give the eulogy.
Inez Faye Bondurant Griffles passed away unexpectedly on Monday, January 4th, 2021, at St. Vincent Hospital in Portland, surrounded by her husband and children. She will be greatly missed, although her wonderful legacy will live on in the many lives she touched. Inez was born in Pasco, Washington in 1944 to Joe and Frances Bondurant. The family moved to Hermiston when Inez was in 3rd grade, and she graduated from Hermiston High School in 1962, having lettered in 4 years in volleyball. She attended Pacific University in Forest Grove and pledged Phi Lambda Omicron sorority. In college, she met Steve Griffles and married him in 1964 in Hermiston. Inez worked many years in the optometry profession and retired in 2003. Inez and Steve were married 56 years and for 45 years lived on the family farm near Hillsborough. Inez loved her family, volunteering, golfing, and traveling. She donated a total of 5 gallons of blood and 27 gallons of platelets, which made her very proud. She had a love for Pacific University and was on Pacific's Alumni Council for 18 years and was an alum of the year in 2004. And she was even in the alumni president for a time. She and Steve had season tickets to Pacific's football games and thoroughly enjoyed the games and had fun tailgating with good friends as well. Inez had a lifelong love of horses and was a 4-H horse leader for 18 years. She loved the young people in her Striding Out Club. She not only taught them about horsemanship, but also about character, leadership, and being a good citizen. She was a Washington County Fair booster for many years, volunteered at the Oregon Food Bank, and was a member of the local Women's Extension Club. One of her real passions was golfing, and she would golf between 2 to 4 times a week. She enjoyed volunteering several years at the Winco Golf Tournament at Pumpkin Ridge Golf Course. Inez loved to cook, especially during the holidays, and she made delicious candy, especially caramels. Inez was a member of the Tualatin Plains Presbyterian Church, also known as Old Scotch Church, and she has served as an elder. Inez loved playing cars, especially Pinnacle, and traveling, especially to their beach house in Seaside. She has been in all but 3 U.S. states. On their 21st anniversary, they went to Hawaii. On their 25th, they went to Bermuda. And on their 50th, they took a trip of a lifetime to France. She was really especially delighted to visit Gonohawk, the town in southern France where the ancestral Bondurants were from. On their 55th anniversary, they spent 3 wonderful weeks in Hawaii. Inez is survived by her husband Steve and their daughters Tina Griffeld Gonzalez, Israel, and Tessa Griffles, who live in Hillsborough, grandchildren Jasmine Tyler Hugh, Richard Jossie, Courtney, and Melissa Newcomb Trent, who all live in Washington County, and her siblings Richard Bondurant, Deanna of Hermiston, Kay Justice Ray of St. Helens, and Bonnie Marks Dawn of Imnaha, and her sister-in-law Linda Robinson Lyle of Hillsborough. She is also survived by many members of her second family, the Dorans of Hermiston. She lived with the Russ and Dee Dorman family during the 3 years in high school, and she dearly loved them. She is also survived by the many relatives in Chicago, Pennsylvania, Virginia, North Carolina, and Washington. She was preceded in death by her parents and brothers of Tim of North Carolina, John of Illinois, and David of Hermiston. Inez was very loving and caring person with a laugh that was infectious. She touched many lives. She was always energetic and full of life. She is going to be deeply missed. Due to COVID-19, a remembrance service will be held later. In lieu of flowers, donations can be made to the Harriet Unruh Scholarship Fund at Old Scotch Church Road, 30685 Northwest Scotch Church Road, Hillsboro, Oregon, 97124. And now Carolyn Rank will introduce the Friends of the 4-H Awards and its first group of recipients.
This year's Friends of 4-H Awards include businesses who generously support of 4-H and our communities annually go above and beyond the request for their material and monetary donations. When the horrendous Labor Day fires broke out, including areas in our county as well as the surrounding ones, they did not hesitate to answer the call of Jan Hare, a longtime horse 4-H leader, and for supplying feed and water buckets for animals whose owners had to evacuate their farms and come to Washington County Fairgrounds. Those businesses include Ag West, Coastal Farms and Ranch, and Wilco. For example, Mike Wickstorm, an employee of Wilco, made numerous trips with feed and supplies for evacuated animals. In conjunction with Washington County Sheriff Posse, who supplied masks and did all the necessary forms for volunteers from 4-H and other individuals. They made possible to care and safely needed for anyone in the Tri-County area who needed safe haven during the fires. Without their generous and quick donations, many would not have any place safe for themselves and their animals. In appreciation for their continued support, especially despite this difficult year of COVID, for businesses and law enforcement officers, we are awarding Ag West, Coastal Farm and Ranch, Wilco, and the Washington County Sheriff Posse with 2020 Friends of 4-H Awards. Logan Crate will announce our next group of recipients.
The Washington County 4-H Wagon Train is a unique opportunity for individuals and families to experience some of what our pioneer ancestors encountered in their travels to Oregon. This past year, one of the goals of Wagon Train has been to build and furnish a new cook shack trailer, as the old one was no longer usable. So fundraising efforts began, and many individuals have donated materials, labor, and money towards this effort. One of these persons, Lyle Speechard, not only has donated towards this endeavor, but is a former Washington County 4-H agent and fair booster. It was through his and other boosters' efforts that the fairgrounds were saved in the past, and many improvements, such as the fountain by the Cloverleaf building, were accomplished. So we wish to present him with a 2020 Friends of 4-H with our thanks and gratitude for all the many years of support and devotion to 4-H, and in particular to the 4-H Wagon Train program. Our next recipient is Jeannie Rosenbaum. Gary Beeman, 4-H Wagon Train cook and board member, said of our next recipient, Jeannie Rosenbaum has shared her vision, passion, and energy while giving long-term support of the 4-H Wagon Train. She has held many positions in the last several years, like family head, teamster, and wagon master. Her continued support and development of the family-oriented, educational-based adventure continues to benefit the new generation of 4-H pioneers. She always knew how to make life brighter for everyone she led. In addition to Lyle and Jeannie, We want to thank and honor Mitch Watson and Scott Adams, without whose generous donations of time and money, the 4-H Cook Wagon could not have been built. Please accept our 2020 Friends of 4-H Award with our sincerest thanks for your contribution to make the goal of a new Cook Wagon for the 4-H Wagon Train a reality. Forrest Felsch will be presenting the 4-H Washington County Civic Engagement Award.
This year's Washington County 4-H Civic Engagement Award recipient is entering her 6th year in 4-H. Her projects have included horse, poultry, expressive arts, and pet pals. She has participated in barn duty at county fairs, caring for the animals and answering the public's questions. She has also collected clothing and food for needy people during school service events. Beyond school and fairs, she has attended community service events with her hens, explaining how to care for them, and yearly fosters kittens at Cats for Cat adoption team, and has taken her cats to visit patients at memory care and nursing homes. She assisted at a paws clinic to give free cat care to homeless people. At Christmas in Derryville, she took care of animals for the public to see. She has collected t-shirts and tennis balls and other materials to distribute and use when teaching 4-Hers and the public how to make pet toys, and has donated many of these to Portland Animal Welfare Team for animal shelters. At 4-H Service and Learning Days, including County Fair and OSU Pet Day, she has supplied the materials needed for making the toys and has taught others how to make these. In 2019, she was awarded the Top Youth Volunteer and the Prudential Spirit of Community Award for her service projects. Her leadership writes, quote, "At that time, she dedicated over 75 hours of teaching 360 pet owners how to keep their cats and dogs active with making dog and cat toys. She collected over 1,000 t-shirts and tennis balls by advertising over social media, collecting materials from her school, and approaching a local tennis center. She taught pet toy making sessions at local barns, night markets, pet stores, libraries, schools, 4-H Learning Day, and Girl Scout meetings." End quote. In order to promote this activity beyond her local, county, and state levels, she created the website www.makeapettoy.com so people throughout the nation can access the instructions and make these in their areas. She also has done Zoom lessons on animal health and well-being during 2020. She taught classes in New England at parks with various placers last summer. She has also met with Senators Merkley and Wyden while in D.C. Her passion for caring for animals was also evident as she volunteered at the fairgrounds, caring for evacuated animals due to the Labor Day fires. It was noted in one of her recommendations that when Jazzy sees the needs, she just does what is necessary to fulfill that. Congratulations, Jasmine White, as this year's Washington County Civic Engagement recipient. Next, Emma Ward will talk about 4-H National Congress.
Every Thanksgiving weekend, 4-H members from all around the country attend National 4-H Congress in Atlanta, Georgia. Delegates hear inspirational speakers, participate in workshops, and engage in large-scale community service projects and enjoy many other fun activities. It is an honor to be selected to represent Oregon at the National Congress because of the application and interview process. You must display leadership and citizenship as well as communication ability. Although 2 youths were chosen for National Congress for Washington County for 2020, they will have to wait until next year as the event was postponed due to COVID-19. Our first National Congress delegate for 2020 has been a 4-H member for 6 years. He is a senior this year and his current projects are KB, sheep, leadership, communication, horticulture, and food preservation. Some of his past projects have included fiber arts, archery, photography, and 3D composition design. He has done many leadership duties for the 6 years. He has helped out with barn setup and teardown and cleaned up the area around Washington County. He has always done barn duty to interact with the public and care for the animals in the barn. He has made socks for the elderly. He has helped clear out invasive species at the Oregon 4-H Center. When the wildfires of Oregon were raging for 6 days, he spent 18 hours with other 4-Hers to help feed, water, and clean out pens for the animals and help people who had evacuated from their homes. He was the speaker at the Awards and Recognition Night last year and has participated in an interview clinic for National Congress. Congratulations, Logan Craig, for being one of the Washington County delegates for 2020 National Congress. Haley Moore will present our next delegate for National Congress.
Our second delegate for National Congress has been a member of 4-H for many years. His projects include small animals and leadership. He has been an ambassador for 2 years now. He was a part of our committee to collect and create kits for the homeless during the Ambassador's Community Service Day in 2019. He likes to participate in the St. Patrick's Day Parade representing 4-H. He's also been an evaluator for record books for 2 years. His help this year was invaluable. Congratulations to Kyle Brand as the second of our selected 4-H National Congress delegates of 2020. Kaylee Rakowski will be introducing our 2021 National Congress nominees.
Some 10th through 12th grade members have indicated a desire to apply for National Congress by submitting a preliminary resume to the Extension Office. For those who did not indicate they would like to be considered for Congress when they turn in their record books, but who may have decided they would like to do the resume, please contact the office for information about the process for applying for National Congress. The deadline is February 16, 2021. There will also be information about assistance that the Metro Awards and Recognition Committee members will give to those who wish to apply. Please read the letter carefully and respond by the deadlines indicated. If you have any questions, please contact Janet Tilp or Annabelle Morgan. These members are currently eligible: Forrest Felsh, Derek Moore, Haley Moore, Madeline Marotti, Rebecca Solar, Emma Ward, and Jasmine White. Next, Logan Craik will be announcing this year's Junior Leaders.
Junior Leader pins are provided to first-year junior leaders by the 4-H Foundation. The 2019-2020 first-year junior leaders are Forrest Felsh, Derek Moore, Haley Moore, and Emma Ward. Megan Casper will be presenting the first of the Youth Leadership Awards.
Our next award will be for those receiving Washington County 4-H Outstanding Leadership Awards. Each year, the Washington County 4-H Outstanding Leadership Awards are given those to recognize 10th and 12th grade youths who have demonstrated emerging leadership. This should involve risk and stretching. It is given only once during a 4-H member's career who are in 10th to 12th grades. Our Washington County 4-H Youth Leadership recipient has had numerous leadership jobs through the years. Some of his earliest leadership duties included leading a cooking and baking activity. He has been a club treasurer, then he became the club vice president. He was a camp counselor for 2 years. In FFA, he became a sentinel of the Hillsborough chapter for 2 years. He then expanded his duties and became the secretary of FFA for 2 years. In the life skills room, he has been an aide for 2 years. He has helped gather donations for FFA. Last year, he planned, organized, and executed an activity of making ornaments for the Ambassador Community Service Day. For many years in 4-H, he has been a cabbie checker and clerk during the Energizer Bunny Show. As committee chair of the Adult Volunteer Recognition, he just completed working on a video to recognize the adult volunteers of Washington County 4-H. He worked with other ambassadors at Alpenrose Storybook Lane 2 years ago as an animal handler, assisted volunteers, and baked cookies. We congratulate Logan Craik for this year's Youth Leadership Award.
We encourage all 9th through 11th graders to participate in the Oregon Ambassador Program, even if they did not mark it on your application page. The program is no longer based on resume submissions at the county level. Instead, it requires a separate application, attendance at the OSU Summer Conference in June, and participation in the ambassador training classes. Please contact the Extension Office in January and let them know if you are interested in this activity. For those who indicated they were interested in the program, a flyer about trainings and an informational letter are in your record book. Emma Ward will be presenting this year's Who Who's Award in 4-H.
The Who's Who's Award in 4-H are given to someone who has been involved in 4-H for many years, exhibited outstanding participation in project areas, held leadership roles in club, county, and state levels, and has participated in community service. This recipient has been a Washington County Ambassador for 3 years. He's currently the Vice President for the Ambassadors. To honor our 4-H seniors, he helped get bios of the seniors and helped hand out medals and gifts. He has also helped out with setup and cleanup for the Energizer Bunny Show for 6 years. Last year, he was one of the speakers at the 4-H Awards Recognition Night. He also set up the tables and decorated the area and cleaned up the venue afterwards. He has been an evaluator for record books for the past 2 years. He has done a variety of projects from harp to small animals to livestock. He is involved in varsity bowling, FFA, choir, swim team, and he is on the National Honor Society. He has done numerous presentations and improved his communication skills over the years through presentations, oral reasons, impromptu speeches, and educational displays in 4-H. In FFA, he has done sales demonstration and oral reasons. He's co-hosted a small showing of rabbits recently and helped pick up horse poop up after the horse entries in the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Congratulations, Logan Craig. Thank you for your many years of service. Carolyn Rank will present our next Who's Who's recipient.
One of our 2020 Who's Who and 4-H recipients is not only an 8-year 4-H member, but also a very active Glencoe High School senior and an active youth in her church and Hart Community Theater in Hillsborough. Her projects include photography, communications, expressive arts, performing arts, horticulture, natural science, family and consumer science, and silent science and technology. As a junior superintendent at County Fair, she helps set up for Judging Day, clerk's assistants, setting up the exhibit hall and displaying exhibits, plus does exhibit hall duty, answers the questions of the public, and promotes 4-H. In her 4-H club, she has held officer of secretary, vice president, president, and a mentor teaching younger members project skills. She has been involved in setting up for art judging at State Fair, clerking, and displaying exhibits. She has been a record book evaluator and presenter at the annual awards nights. Annually, she's participated in 4-H walkathon to raise scholarship money for seniors. Recently, she has become a youth member on Washington County's leaderboard. Each year during fair, she has helped make and deliver floor arrangements with extra glowers to the local seniors' living centers. She has also sewn and delivered pet blankets to local shelters. Outside of 4-H, while taking and excelling in academically challenging classes, she is actively in her school's clubs including STEM, drama, astronomy, debate, chess, robotics, Key Club, and National Honor Society, where she has been a treasurer. She has performed vocal and instrumental solos as a member of the jazz band, chamber choir, and Metro Honor Band. She is a member of her church's youth group and has been involved in Vatican Bible School, dramas, and musical accompaniments and solos. She has also had the lead role of Jasmine in Hart Theater in Hillsborough. It is an honor to present a 2020 Washington County Who's Who's Award to a 4-H member who excels not only in all aspects of 4-H projects, but also her willingness to assume leadership roles and who serves others through the community service, both in 4-H and in her community. Congratulations, Madeline Moride, as one of this year's Who's Who's Award recipients.
This year, the evaluators did not get to gather together on Evaluation Day due to COVID. Instead, they evaluated the record books over several weeks separately or in small family groups. The special awards section had to be done over the phone. Without many hours of these volunteers spent reading the record books members submit, the awards process could not be completed in a meaningful and timely way. We thank all of them and their families for the time they gave and the great job that they did. Kaylee Rakowski will now tell us about 4-H National Conference.
National 4-H Conference delegates engage in personal development experiences that increase their knowledge, resources, and skills while they discuss topics affecting youth and 4-H programming nationwide. Delegates not only learn while at the conference, they are empowered to create positive social change in their communities and have the opportunity to practice and apply their skills in a real-world setting. Youth delegates must be between ages 15 by January 1st of the conference year and 19 years old. The delegates choose an important societal topic and in roundtable groups prepare a briefing. During the conference, the groups present their briefing to federal officials around the Washington, D.C. area. They learn by providing youth a broad-based learning experience in which they will acquire practical knowledge and skills to reinforce the attitudes and motivation that will give them a heightened sense of responsibility and capacity to connect as active members of their communities, nation, and world. Youth engage youth in hands-on educational activities in which they explore, practice, and master existing and newly developed skills and knowledge in civic engagement, civic education, and personal development. They then apply what was learned in real-world experiences in which they develop leadership skills using their voices, work, ideas, and/or behavior to make a difference in their community, country, and world. National 4-H Conference is specifically focused on civic engagement, civic education, and personal development. For more information, please see Annabelle Morgan or Janet Tilp. Logan Craig will tell us about Record Book Awards.
Part of 4-H is learning to keep records. This takes time and effort on the part of the 4-Hers who will be receiving the next awards. They have kept track of their activities, expenses, and in the case of animals, the food and health-rated care given to them. These members are going to be congratulated on communicating their 4-H experiences in an organized and complete manner. These members' names will be posted with the awards and pins they received. I will now be announcing the champion and reserve champion of the record books. You will be receiving your medallion soon. The junior reserve champion is Lillian Harris, and the junior champion is Lizzie Ward. Intermediate reserve co-champions are Beth Solar and Emma Ward, and the intermediate champion is Forrest Felsh. Senior reserve champion is Madeline Marotti, and senior champion is Logan Craig. Tyler Fitz has some special announcements at this time.
We would like to take a moment to express our special thanks to our Washington County Extension staff, Pat Willis and Darcy Shaw. Without their guidance and support, our county program would not be as successful as it is. The job of a 4-H administrative program assistant is a challenging one, and Darcy Shaw has been very supportive and helpful with assisting with getting supplies organized and clerical work done for events such as this one and all other 4-H activities, events, and especially fair. Thank you so much, Darcy. We also want to thank our extension representative, Pat Willis. He oversees a vast variety of 4-H activities, both local and statewide. Without his willingness to work hand in hand with all the volunteers to make 4-H the best possible program, whether for traditional 4-Hers, after-school events, or camps, these valuable learning experiences would not happen. He always keeps his cool and rounds up whatever is needed for events such as this one. Thank you so much, Pat. We also wish to thank the Washington County 4-H Association for the medals and special awards provided for this event, and Susan Cackler, our chairperson, for all the hours devoted to meetings, planning, and working on fundraisers, and support that they give, most of tonight's awards, mini grants, and county scholarships for seniors. Thank you so much, Susan. Record books may be picked up at Annabelle Morgan's home, or she will deliver them to your home upon request. For members or leaders not involved with record keeping, but wanting more information, see Janet Tilp or Annabelle Morgan so private or club trainings can be set up. Again, thank you so much for watching, and we hope you turn in your record books in 2021. We wish you all well in this year.